Last pod, you heard from Dwayne Hutton, RVP of the East for Site Built. We have raised the bar on this pod. We have raised the bar. We went out and we lion hunted, and we got the lion. I want to introduce president of UFP Construction for now.
Yeah, for now.
Till July 1st.
Till the end of this.
Till this is over. Till I get yelled at when we leave here. Mr. Patrick Benton.
Hey, thanks, Mike. Thanks for having me.
No problem. So, legendary, I guess, is a good word to describe yourself in the UFP world. 33.
And old.
Oh, yeah, and old.
Legendary
Okay.
old.
How many years at UFP?
33 years and 1 month.
33 years and 1 month. Okay. There's a lot of people with a lot of time in at UFP, correct?
Yeah. Oh, no doubt.
And every one of those careers has some pretty cool stories, and it has some pretty big changes within their career.
Yep.
Can you take us kind of high level through your 33-year career, where you started, how you got into this game, because everyone's story is a little different and they're all a little interesting.
Yep.
And then kind of where you ended up throughout the years and how you ended up where you are today.
Sure. No, hey, I started out in 1993 in our Saginaw, Texas plant. My first day on the job was shoveling sawdust from the back of a trailer to the front of the trailer, because we had a plant manager that he was a big fan of fraternity life and liked to haze the newcomers. Yeah. So he figured if I could last a week in the trailer shoveling sawdust from the back to the front, I would probably make it.
It's a good test.
It was a good test, and I'm still here, so it was good. I did that. Basically every job you could do in production. I drove a forklift. I worked on machinery, stacked lumber. I worked in the treating plants. I started where my career kind of changed. I started building fence displays for Home Depot.
Wow.
And started not only building them, but then helping Christian Dennison, who was a Home Depot rep at that time, put them out in the stores. That was back when we had one plant that covered Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Oklahoma, and a little bit of New Mexico.
What plant was that?
Saginaw.
It was Saginaw. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
And so first year that I did that, I put 65,000 miles on my vehicle.
Ooh, boy.
Yeah, which told me
gas
after that.
Gas was a little cheaper back then.
Gas was a little cheaper. I think it was about $1.50 back then.
Okay. All right. Not $5. Right.
No, definitely not $5. Did that for a while, and then Christian was promoted to be account manager, and I took over the Home Depot account.
Okay.
So that was my transition from production into sales. During my travels across the country, I kept driving by pallet companies or people that had lumber outside. So I asked Dick Frazier, who was the VP of Texas at that point in time, said, "Hey, can I start quoting some of these?" He's like, "Sure, let's see what's out there." So I started doing Home Depot CSR work, which again, I traveled everywhere. So it got me a lot of accounts where they weren't on the beaten path. They were off on this road over here, and I started taking different routes to the same stores just to try to find some of these. Grew my sales pretty dramatically on industrials. We really weren't into industrials at that point in time. And that was back when Grandview was still making factory-built roof trusses, and just continued growing. And that's what we talked about, too, on our first quarter update a second ago. You had me doing industrials, you had Justin doing cedar, and then you had Dwayne doing treated. And we'd be all over Texas, but we made sure that we kept in touch. And at this point in time, we just had the pagers, so we didn't have cell phones.
And what'd you have to find?
We had to find we had to have a cell phone or a phone bank.
Yes, not a cell phone, a payphone bank.
A payphone bank.
Yes.
And if it was raining outside, we had to get close up in the car and roll the window down and pull the phone back in. But we would communicate where we're going to be. We'd meet up at a hotel. This is some of this is known, some of it's not. We would meet up at a hotel, and after the night's events, we were keyed up.
Yeah.
We decided we'd play hallway football, and we'd take a shoe off, and that'd be the football.
Hey, this is a safe zone. You can say anything you want.
It was man on man in the hallways, and we would do that until the cops came. And
so who were those three? It was you, Dwayne, and who?
Me, Dwayne, Justin, Tim Burton.
Okay, I'm seeing a little size difference here. So if I was putting money down, it was probably on you.
Well, it was on me until Burton picked me up and slammed me through the wall.
Okay.
So and then Burton also put his head through the wall, which that was pretty much the end of hallway football for a while. But I did that, and then I got an opportunity. Like, again, we've talked about before, the company continues to grow, continues to offer opportunities. You got to raise your hand. I raised my hand for an opportunity in shirts.
Yep.
which was an acquisition that we bought. It was a company had gone out of business. The plant had been defunct for probably 2 or 3 years. My first job when I went down there was literally to cut all the vines and trees off the building so you could actually see the building.
Wow.
That happened at the end of '98.
Okay.
So moved my family down there. We moved in the week before Christmas. I had taken off the week after Christmas to put the sod and the fence and all that stuff in. During that time, I got a phone call from Mike Doobie. He said, "Hey, we bought a plant in New Waverly. I need you to come over there and help me figure out what we have. We'll get other people on the shirts plant, and it'll be ready for you when you come back." 2 weeks in, I get a phone call like, "Hey, this plant's bigger than we thought it was. We think you'd be better here than shirts." And a lot of things were going through my mind at that point in time. I said, "Yeah, I don't think so. I'm good. I just moved in, brand new house. My wife's mother lived in San Antonio, so I was a hero." And then Bill Curry came down the next week, said, "Hey, dumbass, this is a better opportunity. That other one's no good." Which I said, that wasn't how it was presented to me in the beginning. That shirts thing was a home run.
Yeah.
And but sure enough, as Bill usually was, he was right. Moved my family, told my wife that, hey, we're moving to New Waverly, which while she wasn't excited, she's always been very supportive of me, which I would tell everybody out there, you got to have your wife involved. She's got to be all in so you can be all in. Moved to New Waverly, and again, that was literally the turning point of my career.
That was 2000?
That was 1999.
1999. Okay, so
January 99.
Okay. And what role did you hold in New Waverly at the time?
Yeah, so I came there as an operations manager.
Okay.
Mike Doobie also moved down. He was up in Saginaw with us, so he moved down, and he was actually at that point in time the GMO of the plant
in New Waverly.
New Waverly,
Gotcha.
and still it was like a regional general manager job at that time. He was also over the Saginaw plant as well. That went on until 2002, and then I was promoted to be GMO. Okay. At the same time, Mike Doobie was promoted to be VP over Texas.
Gotcha. Okay.
Did that again. Had an amazing team. I look back at that team, and a lot of those people at New Waverly, they're officers now all over the country.
Sure.
I mean, you like Andy Kubetta, Billy Thompson, Jason Croy, Scott Songer. I mean, just the name.
Like a breeding ground.
Yeah, there was a breeding ground. And I can tell you, and you can ask all them, we had the most fun I've never had so much fun in my entire life.
Yeah.
And other people would see that, and it was again, people they wanted to work for us.
It went from hallway football to outdoor football.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
Did that until about 2006, or actually 2005.
Yep.
And then they asked me to be part of a truss plant that they opened up in Katy, Texas. So that was my first kind of venture into the truss side of it. Obviously, 2007 and 8 happened.
Yep.
And it just went like this. 2008, I was promoted to VP of South Texas, which then was over the Katy plant, the New Waverly, the Silsbee treating plants, and then also Shirts, San Antonio, and Kyle.
And that was way before any segmentation.
No segmentation.
You had treated, you had industrial or packaging. Industrial is what we called it back then.
That's right.
And then you also had some site-built stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So and true UFP world back then.
True UFP world. And again, now I got to travel not just in the Houston area, but in San Antonio and Austin, which again, loved that. That was actually my big part of my sales territory when I was in Saginaw.
Yep.
So I was very familiar with it. And again, that was great. We grew it, continued to grow it. 2014 rolls around. I get a phone call. Or we all get a phone call. Your life
changed for the better, right?
Yeah, it definitely did. We all get a phone call that we needed to be on a conference call, and we didn't know what it was.
Old school conference call, not teams. There
was no team. We thought the company had been sold. We thought we were going to have a phone call that, hey, the company had been sold. Unfortunately, that was not it. We got a call saying that 2 people were no longer employed, and it was the president and a VP of our company. I won't say any names. You guys know the situation.
On the eastern side.
On the eastern side.
Yes.
And then the call was over. So back to business as usual. Posting came out for president of UFP. We then were east and west. We were growing at a rapid pace, so we divided up into north, south, and west. Posting came out for the executive vice president of the north, and I hit the posting. And there was a lot of other people that were just as qualified, if not more than I was. Talked to Matt and Pat Webster. They were both surprised that I hit the posting because they didn't think I'd move out of Texas, which, again, if you don't raise your hand for an opportunity, you will not get it.
Yep. Because
people sometimes think you're locked into somewhere when that's not necessarily the case. So if you don't get a job opportunity, that's because you didn't raise your hand. And then again, came here, got the job. I got a phone call on vacation, 4th of July vacation in 2014 from Matt saying, "Hey, you ready to move east?" My heart sank a little bit because, again, boy from Texas.
And you were over the north. So a guy from Texas having to take a job that had the north in there. I'm sure there's a little bit of burn there.
I did verify that Charlotte was far enough north for me to still be considered the north, and it was.
Still south of Mason-Dixon, though, so you're good.
But we were right there. Yeah. But again, my wife, like always, very supportive. Family was supportive. Moved to Charlotte, and then I think in probably 2014, 2017, promoted to president over the North.
Yep.
And then we had segmentation, and then we divided everything up. And again, it's been an amazing time. And I want to make sure everybody hears this. I told you we had a lot of fun. But again, we were all that group that started out as Saginaw and then went to New Waverly. We had so many people that poured into us, our mentors that took time. They showed us a culture. They invited us to their house. They included us in their family functions. I mean, I'd have really had to be a dumbass not to be able to be where I'm at today with all the help that I got poured into me. So I always try to make sure I make those guys proud and pour into my guys.
Yeah.
And to show them what I was shown. So hopefully it would offer them the same opportunity I've had.
Well, I appreciate you going through that because everybody has a unique story here at UFP. And we've all been here a long time. But we've been here a long time for a reason, right? It's a fantastic company that presents opportunities for you, like you said, to raise your hand, right? And do something different or take on a challenge to make yourself better. And I think that's kind of the key throughout a lot of the people like yourself that have, and might as well have long tenures here, is that there's always challenges and opportunities that present themselves, and we always were able to raise our hand and take it on. But there's always changes. I want you to just talk about some of the biggest changes at the company in the last 20 years that you've seen. Someone told me one time, right, that this company will go through some sort of change every 5 to 7 years, whether we restructure a region, whether we segmentation, things like that. What are some of the biggest ones that you've seen that have benefited the people?
Yeah, well, I mean, I can tell you when I first started, we had 5 regions.
Yeah.
And then we went from 5 regions to 2 divisions. And then we went from the 2 divisions to 3 divisions and then on to segmentation.
Yes.
So in all those, again, they were all changes. They all opened up positions. And then once those positions were opened up, it domino effect backwards.
And change is super hard. And what I was trying to, the point I was trying to get across is there's always going to be change. Change is hard. But if you stick with the process and you commit to it, there's success to be found. And he's an example of that. So am I. And there's hundreds of others out there that have benefited from all the change at UFP.
Yeah, I look back. Matt gave us a book, and now I know why. He gave us a book. I mean,
oh boy,
it was back
I don't even want to know what this
15 years ago, and it was "Who Moved Your Cheese?"
Oh, okay.
And that was a deal where if you don't change, someone's going to change for you, and you may be out. And a perfect example of that is BlackBerry.
Okay.
They owned the entire market. Yep. They literally dominated. They were the number one. They owned it. They wanted the keypad on the phone. They weren't going to change it.
Yep.
What happened when the iPhone came out?
Apple came along and blew it all up.
They were done. I mean, if you've been able to watch the movie, just watching it and seeing the arrogance of the people at BlackBerry, I mean, he was just sure that he had the secret sauce, and he didn't. So
you want to know what's funny? The people we hiring right now don't even know what BlackBerry is.
Right. Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right.
I know I am.
So yeah, you gotta welcome it. It's got to be something that should be exciting. Again, Frank Ford, that's a change.
Change.
Braun, that's a change.
Yeah.
And they've all been changed for the good.
Exactly. Exactly. So let's talk about UFP a little bit, right? We're all biased as to how great a company it is, but I want to hear from you. What makes UFP so great? In your mind, in your experience, in your career, what has made this an unbelievable company?
I think early on, I would have said the two things that stick out the most, we were always, once we got to really sales or operation management or general manager back in the day, we got to we were our own entrepreneurs.
Yes.
Our plant was like we owned our own business. We were able to, again, you lived and died by the sword.
Yeah.
I mean, they always gave you plenty of rope. You could either hang yourself with it or do something really good with it. So I think that was key. I think the second one, and I've never found this, I have friends that envy us, the type of company we have, but that we've always had access to our CEO and upper management, always. And I think that's a big key that again, they've made themselves available for us to ask questions, to, again, mentor and help, reach out and call. I mean, back in the day in Saginaw, we had to work a half day on Saturday to get the factory built checks that came in, the deposit. I can't tell you how many times we were in there and we get a call from Bill Curry.
Yeah.
He was just checking in to see how you're doing, see how your family was doing.
He was making sure you were there.
He was also he never brought that up. But he again, he did it the right way. And that's one of Bill's. I mean, that's one of his way. He's just so magic. Is it? I mean, he always makes you feel good. I mean, that guy. Just he was checking on us.
Yes.
But he called just to check in on us. But again, we got to keep that alive. That's why, again, I want to almost say that no one has titles. We're there to help. We like you said, we're on a team. We have one job. We want to win.
That's right.
So I think we got to keep that family mentality, and just again, we got to throw the egos out the window. We don't need any of that.
I agree with that accessibility thing. I think all of our VPs or CEO even have come up through the company. So we're all just regular people that just do our job and want to help others do theirs and get better. And it's not, we don't bring people in, by and large, from the outside to sit in the CEO spot.
Right.
That person is someone that came up through the ranks, that understands the challenges that we all face every day, and is willing to pick up the phone and help. I mean, it's a simple thing, but it means so much.
It does.
Yes.
It does.
All right. So we went through this whole COVID thing, right? From 2020, the world changed. We're all wearing masks and we're crossing the sidewalk so we don't breathe the same air. I mean, how crazy is that when we look back at the things we were doing? It's amazing.
It is crazy.
And the whole world changed in terms of how they looked at work, right? You want to work from home. I don't need to be there, all that type of stuff. That really took a shot at our culture.
Yeah.
Right? How do we get back? How do we get that back? How do we make sure that the UFP that you knew and I knew, and you started earlier than me because you're way older than me, but the UFP that you knew in the late 90s and that I knew in the early mid 2000s, that we can keep that going forward for these next generation. Now they're different people, but how do we keep that going forward for them?
No, we talk about it at plant reviews. You got to get back in the office. You have to. I know in your mind, when it first happened, we kind of fumbled through Teams. Once we got more comfortable with Teams, we were like, hey, you know what? This is all right. I don't have to drive 3 hours to go meet with someone. I can just do a Teams call. And there are benefits to that. But that can't be the only way you conduct business. You've got to get back in the office. You've got to have that camaraderie with your team. You've got to have that camaraderie with our customers. You've got to be mentored. You've got to be a mentor. Again, just think about a new person coming in today, straight out of college, doesn't know anything, totally green. He comes into sales, and you give him a territory, and you're off.
You never see him.
Never
you only see him on screen.
So I mean, I think back too when we sat in Saginaw or New Waverly, we all sat in a big room, in desk and cubicles.
Got it.
And you could hear all the things going on and back and forth, and I could hear people struggling and how they got out of that struggle, or a customer was upset about something and how they handled it, all without having to go through the pain myself. I got to watch somebody else figure it out. And then like, oh, okay, I'm not going to make that mistake. And if I do, here's how I fix it. You can't do that sitting at a desk in front of a Teams call because you don't have all that tenured people around you that you can, again, kind of see how things flow. So I would just tell you, we got to get back in the office for the new guys who've never been in an office, and for the older guys to get back in there and, again, share the knowledge, share that tribal knowledge that you have, that you've earned. And the other thing, when you talk about it, not only will that happen, when the new guys are in there, they're going to show the older guys they're going to share the tribal knowledge. Younger guys can say, hey, let me show you what I can do with your phone. Let me show you what I can do on a computer.
Dual learning, we call it.
Yeah, dual learning. That's right.
Yes.
But we got to get back to that. We have to.
There's some really cool stuff going on within the plants that I see in my travel, and I just call out a couple of them because, if we share these ideas, maybe others can start doing it. But I was out in Lafayette last year, and they have Whiskey Fridays.
Yeah.
I wasn't there on Friday, so we moved it up and we made it Whiskey Wednesday. So what the hell, right? Mm-hmm. So we sat around in that back room, and Eric Walden does a fantastic job, the DO out there, of bringing young talent in and making them feel part of the team. But again, Patrick, he makes them work in the plant, come to the plant, be part of the plant. And we sat around we started at 5 o'clock, I think. Yeah, we started at 5. Yeah, right. But we sat around and they break out they just do some testing and things like that, taste testing of whiskey. But we played a game called Buzz where every 7, whatever. That was the most fun I've had in a long time. And we had kids in their 20s rolling on the ground laughing. We have people in their 50s and 60s hooting and hollering. Yeah. And then another thing I want to bring up is the Chicopee plant does dive bar Fridays. Okay, so talk about being a good patron of the community. They found a bunch of dive bars, places that you and I probably wouldn't go into if we weren't asked to go there. And they put them on a Wheel of Fortune wheel. And they spin the wheel, and whatever comes up, that's where they go that Friday. And they bring everybody, 20-year-olds, 21-year-olds, up to 50 and 60. Oh, John Lush in his 60s is going to Dive Bar Wednesday. And that's like you said, that's where the good stuff happens,
right? Where the good stuff happens.
The tribal knowledge gets passed, and the young kid picks up his cell phone and says, hey, you want to know what Claude, you want to see how to use Claude or ChatGPT or whatever? And that older guy leaves a lot smarter than when he showed up at that Dive Bar Friday. So fantastic answer. I think that's super important for us to build that culture, include everybody, and make sure everybody feels part of it, right? Because this next generation's...
Well, that's it, too. Feels part of it. Feels part of the family, feels part of the plant. You can't do that just during work hours. You do that after work hours. So a lot of things you're talking about, the Dive Bar Fridays, and then we do Sushi Tuesday. The letters don't match up, but we did it anyway.
Oh, Sushi Sunday? You don't do that?
Yeah. We
Maybe
can.
In the future, yeah.
But I mean, we again, back in Saginaw, we would do Fridays. Once the time changed, we'd do Fridays where Doobie would let us leave at 5 and we'd go play golf, and it'd be production and sales. So we got one-on-one time with the production guys and sales guys all together, having a good time, talking about, good things, bad things, work, life.
Yep.
The whole, and that all, and what that does in the future. Now, when you have a problem, let's say maybe you made a bad investment, maybe you got overextended. Mm-hmm. You have someone now that you can come and talk to, like, hey, I'm in a bad spot here. Instead of thinking you're all by yourself, you don't know what to do, and you end up going to get another job because it gave you a $5,000 signing bonus or something.
You're right.
It made it. You just made a huge decision, because if you just had someone to talk to that you trusted, we could have got through it and fixed it. But instead, now you just had to make a career change, and maybe for the better, maybe not for the better. I would tell you probably more times than not for the better. And I've got many stories where guys left our company who were just literally 1 or 2 steps behind me or Justin or Dwayne that have now had 5 or 6 jobs. Yeah. We're still in our same job.
You're right, man. The best advice comes from people who have done it.
Yeah.
Whether it's worked out or not, that's the best advice.
Yeah.
All right, let's change gears a little bit here. We got a lot of different people in this company, a lot of different age ranges, right? And they all have different functions, whether we have operations people, we have sales people, we have admin, we have design, we have all sorts of different roles within the company.
Yep.
If you were to give them kind of advice over the next 5 years, what should they focus on in their role in order to grow?
Yeah, I would tell you that, again, the more diverse that you are, the more valuable you are.
Good.
So you shouldn't have, don't worry about what you're doing, worry about what opportunities are there. Raise your hand, get involved. So maybe if you start out in production, but there's a sales opportunity, raise your hand and go be a sales guy. If you're in the sales and you have an operations opportunity, go do that. That's just going to make you more valuable in the future for when an officer role comes up. You say, hey, I've been in design, I've been in sales, I've been in production. And I'll give you a couple of examples right now. Kevin Klein.
Yes.
Started out in design.
Yes, it's a good one.
David Lawrence started out in design.
Yeah.
They both went into Kevin actually went into operations, and then David went into sales.
Yes.
Now today they're both officers. They both took different courses, or routes. They both did different things, and they both end up in the same spot.
Agree.
So
Agree.
I'd say focus on the opportunities, and again, you're going to have to bet on yourself. It may not always line up with exactly what you thought you were going to do, but if you bet on yourself and take an opportunity, it's going to work out.
Great answer. Let's stick on the topic of young people, because they are becoming more and more of a higher percentage of our employees that we work alongside of, whether it's in the plant, offices, wherever.
Well, as we get older, they all get younger.
True. Yeah, there's a movie that had that line. Wasn't Dazed and Confused?
Yeah.
We'll leave that aside. But so I learned something when we worked with the young people at Baylor. We brought some of them in, and a kid named Jackson Cooper, who's going to start for us this September. He's graduating in May, but he's going to start for us down in North Carolina. He made a comment to me, and he said, "Hey, the fact that you guys have all been there so long, you wear it like a badge of honor. We get nervous.
Yeah.
We think, oh my God, what is that? Some sort of cult? They lock you in?" Or he said, maybe you guys had no other options, so you just had to stay there because you weren't good enough to work other places, which is so far from the truth, right? So far from the truth. So what advice would you give a young person, 23, 24, 25, whatever in that age range, starting out here at U of P? How do they make it 33 years in 1 month?
Yeah, I actually gave a class at Training Week, and it was about read the room. I think a lot of people have a hard time reading rooms. Yeah. There's certain rooms where you can do certain things, and there's certain times you can't. Yes. And you really got to understand who's in that room and who's listening and who's your audience.
The examples are just rolling through my head. Real life examples of things I've heard and seen. Yes.
What you can do at a dirt track is probably not what you can do in the sales office.
You got it.
So, but people have a hard time switching gears, and other people are just oblivious. Yes. And they just feel like, hey, this is me. You're just going to get me, and sometimes that gets that person out.
Yes.
So I would say, again, read the room. Make sure you're in the right spot. You're using your head and just some common sense. Second thing I would do is, you're new. We know you're new. We don't expect you to have all the answers.
Yeah.
Ask for help.
Yep.
I see so many people that they get to a point to where they're drowning, and then they feel like, well, I'm not doing a good job, and then they just leave. When in fact, if they just ask for help, we expect you to need help. You're brand new. You're not going to come in knowing everything. So,
and you're young.
Yeah, you're young.
And you're going to make some decisions that may be bad ones.
No doubt about it. So just ask for help. That's an easy one. And then the last one, and this is something that really helped me in my career, spend as much time as you can with the older guys, whether they're either peers and or the executives. It used to be, again, when I got into sales in Saginaw, if you're the new guy, you had, again, it was like, again, it was a fraternity. Yeah. You got hazed. But if you're the new guy, you had to go always pick up all the executives at the airport. You had to drive them to the hotel.
You got it.
You had to drive them to dinner.
Or you had to get their keys ahead of time, so they didn't have to check in.
That was after the fact. But, and all I got told was, hey, whatever you do, don't get fired. Yeah. I mean, that was the extent of the knowledge that they handed off to me. But the more, and they all took that as like, oh, you hate this. As soon as we hire somebody else, you want to do that anymore. I love doing that because I got to hang out with all the executives. I got to listen to what's going on in the car or in the room or in the restaurant. And I got to know them. They got to know me. I would just take that time that's time well invested to spend with those folks, because again, now they know who you are. They know you. They know you by name. They know you. They see you and like, hey, I know that guy. Have some background. If you're just off the side trying to keep your head down, not getting in the fray, you're going to be in the side with your head down, not getting in the fray.
Be forgotten about.
Yeah, you will be forgotten about. So,
another one I'll add in there: never forget where you came from.
Yes.
I came from the plant floor. You came from the plant floor. And you wouldn't think twice about going back out there and helping some guy lift up a 4x4 or truss or whatever it is.
We all, doesn't matter where we are, we all got families. We all got to support them. We all need help sometimes. That's a given.
But don't ever get above yourself.
No, definitely
Be open to going back in that plant, helping build stuff, helping our people get the products out the door that you're either selling, designing, or whatever it is, right?
Yep. Oh, I'm a key advocate of when you come into, which a lot of these college kids don't want to do. I think it's important for them to be in the plant, working out there, seeing how hard those jobs are.
Yeah.
giving them respect for the people
Agreed.
that are doing the job, but at the same time, it gives them a chance to earn the respect from the people seeing them do the job.
Exactly.
And learning our products and learning how bad a 911 affects all of
Yep.
production. So I'm a big advocate of that. Again, a lot of these college kids like, hey, I went to college so I didn't have to do stuff like this.
Yeah.
But I think it's you got to just look at it as you got to put in your time. You got to get a little hazed and get through it, and then again, I think to just help build respect between both sides of the fence.
It's the only way to understand it is to actually do it.
That's right.
So, 33 years, 1 month, right?
Yeah.
Now you got a lot more months and years to add to the back end of that 33, but you will be doing those in a different role, a different manner, right?
Yes. Very excited about it.
You are. I know you are.
Yeah.
And we all are, because we know it's going to be a big part of UFP going forward, acquisitions and growing that way versus greenfield, right?
Yeah.
Can you explain a little bit of that new role and some of the challenges that you think that role will bring to you?
Yeah. So first, I'd like to acknowledge Will and the board for acknowledging that we've been missing this for a while, and I'll be again sitting in the seat I was sitting in. I'm 100% that we needed this role. We probably have been doing for the acquisition coming on. There's just such a gap in getting familiar with who to call, who not, who to reach out for this, who to reach out for that. There's a lot of time spent chasing down who I'm actually supposed to get to. I think in my role, for the fact of having 33 years involved in with all aspects of it, knowing all the people, I'm going to be able to bridge that gap a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to be able to, and I've figured out, and I'm going to be like Siri. You're going to ask me a question, and I'm going to give you the answer.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
that
going to
may
give you who to
stick.
call.
Watch out, that may be your nickname.
But again, I think I'm going to add that to, because again, we're buying these companies because they're good companies.
Yeah.
They got great people.
Yep.
We just need to put them in a good spot to succeed, and I think I'll be able to help transition it a lot quicker than what we've done in the past. And again, like I said before, I get to work with retail, with packaging, and with construction. So I get to work with everybody that I've worked with for those 33 years.
I think the role is super important. I mean, we went through in Site Built, we went through three acquisitions really, and Endurable being the most recent up in Minnesota. And you're right, there is, we do come in. We come in heavy, we come in fast, we make the announcement, we do all the onboarding, and it's like, boom, gone. And the people are left kind of to find their own answers to the questions. And what ends up happening is they end up resenting the company or the owner. Well, why did you sell us to them? They don't have any, what are we doing now? We don't know. So
they're the redheaded stepchild.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think your role, this new group is going to play a huge part in making those people feel part of that culture that we just talked about, 10, 15 minutes ago.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I look at Endurable. I mean, that's an easy one. Had we had someone in there from the get-go to really, I mean, just again, we could have hooked them up with the Site Built guys who are doing multifamily, and just they'd have gone in as a team and team sold it instead of just everybody shooting arrows in different directions.
But like you said before, you've got the experience and you're bringing that to the table. I think this will be a massive advantage.
Well, because again, I know when I was the president, and like you're going to be the president, and Scott and Landon, and all the officers that are they all have full-time jobs.
Yeah.
They can't just stop their full-time job to go help this new acquisition or this underperforming plant. And now I'll be able to. No.
I'll just be like, Siri.
Yeah.
Can you come over here and meet with this acquisition?
That's exactly right.
That's you, man.
So no, I'm excited. I'm gonna get to meet a lot of new people and get to hang out with a lot of people that I have long-term relationships with.
Well, you're going to be fantastic in that role.
Appreciate it.
So what is for the next 90 days, right? Mm-hmm. July 1 is the official. So you're not going to do anything till July 1, right?
I'm completely taking off. I'm going to be at the lake. I'll be at the lake.
All right. So when in your first 90 days, what do you hope to accomplish in this new role?
Yeah. So last Friday I posted for a new director of operations integration.
Yes.
Which that'll be basically my right-hand guy or girl.
Yep.
And again, I'm excited to have interviews starting next week.
Yeah. And
figure out who that's going to be. And then my next thing is really I've worked with Mike Cole and Will yesterday on basically just standing operating procedures on how we're gonna deploy me and my team. And when I say team, I told Will early on, I don't want to add a bunch of cost.
Yeah.
I know all the controllers, I know all the BSAs, a good relationship with them in each segment.
HR.
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
so that's nothing we need to add a team for. Those are ones I'm just going to coordinate with.
Yep.
Other than the one guy or girl that today for the director of operations integration part. But that today that's one person. In the future, that may be 2 or 3, because as we continue to expand and have acquisitions and or target more of our underperforming plants, we're going to need more people.
Yeah, I agree.
So-
I agree. I think, again, I can't say it enough, that role is definitely needed.
Yeah.
And I think you and your team will do a fantastic job in it. And I can't wait for construction to take advantage of you in the new role as we look to acquire businesses going forward.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm excited.
Yeah. Last. Well, I'll end it after this, but
Yeah.
I'll give you a little bit of an opportunity here. Do you have any parting advice for me
Yeah.
and the rest of the construction segment that you're not leaving, but segueing to a different role from?
Yep. Yeah. For you, boy, there's a lot. I mean, there's a long
I got the
list.
playbook. I got the playbook. You give it to me.
I did. I give you the playbook
All right,
early
thank
on. No, I think the biggest thing is just when you sit down in that chair and you sit back, like, one, it's a huge compliment. So you should feel the pride, because again, I mean, it starts to thin out pretty quick up at the top. So I mean, you made it through a big group of people,
Thank you.
and you
Thank
earned every bit of it.
Appreciate it.
Nothing was given, but just to appreciate the job and to appreciate the fact that now you set the tone. I mean, good or bad, you're going to set that tone. And for the most part, again, I haven't had to toe the company line. I've believed in the company line, but sometimes you got to toe the company line.
Yeah.
And then, like, again, with the other positions as you've gone up, it's less touches. You're going to have to depend on people and delegate.
Yeah.
Because you physically can't get there, and you won't do yourself or your family or your team justice if you try to do it all.
Great.
And then something Matt told me when he was 100% right when I took the role, you're going to have to learn to say something you don't like saying. You're going to have to say no.
No. Matt
Because-
does like saying no.
Matt does. No, he's a professional.
Yeah. We love you, Matt.
But no, he's 100% right, because again, you're going to have 4 different BUs
Yeah.
that all have things going on. They're all going to have meetings with their people, which you want to be a part of. Sometimes they're back-to-back weeks, and I mean, you just can't. You're going to have customer events.
Yeah.
You're going to have to just pick your points. And again, you're going to have to let your people lead their BUs.
I appreciate that.
And as far as for the people out there, what you're getting with Mike, I can tell you,
no.
you're getting the least Boston guy you can get out of Boston. So he's as much normal as possible. But no, hey, you can for the ones that, and hopefully all of you do, you trust me. I trust this guy with my life. He's part of my family now as well. And I mean, he's a great guy that I know he's going to lead us to the promised land through this site-built lull, and with the other BUs as well. But no, he's somebody you can trust. He's going to be just as transparent as I was, which is a big part of it, which I know you appreciate from your previous employers.
Yes. Previous boss.
Yeah, previous
I've always
boss.
worked here.
Yeah.
Let's clear that up. Not employer,
But
previous boss.
that should have started off with that as number one. You got to be transparent.
Yep.
People got to believe in what you're telling them is the truth.
Yeah.
And that you're and make them part of the team. But again, you're getting a great guy that you can depend on, you can call, you can trust. You can make that 6:00 p.m. call that, hey, I need to talk to somebody. I need to be offline, not online, and you can trust him. So I have no doubt, and it'll be great.
Well, I thank you. And he has made me part of his family. I just want to record.
Yeah.
I have my own room
That's
at the
right.
Benton household right now. I walk in and Patrick goes, go to your room.
Yeah.
And I just take a left and I go all the way down the hall and my room's on the left.
Right.
But Patrick, man, I appreciate you. I spoke about change at one of the plant reviews, and I said change comes in various forms, whether it's strategy, whether it's new equipment, a new way home, and sometimes change comes in the form of people.
Yeah.
And you've changed my life. You've changed my family's life. I didn't know where this was all going in 2014 when that episode you talked about happened, where a president and a VP were fired, and we were left with no boss. My whole region area of the Northeast of the United States was left with no one to work for. And we get the phone call a week later that you guys are all going to work for Patrick Benton. We're like, who the hell is that? And where the hell is he coming from? And All we knew was the Texas invasion was coming. And we were ready. We were ready for the next Civil War. We had the shields up, and he was coming with the guns and everything. But man, it has been a godsend for all of us to work under your leadership, under your direction. You always put people first, and I will give you that credit for that to the day I die. Is that you put people first and you change people's lives, and I will try. I will definitely continue that in this role of always putting people first.
I know you will.
I think it's super important, and I thank you for doing that. So,
you bet, buddy.
I don't want to cry. I don't want to get too, emotional here, but we do have a little way to celebrate this, seeing as it is El Cinco de Mayo today.
That's right. Big day.
We have a few beers, which Bruce, you need to. We have a person back here that's a little stagehand. We call him Bruce Morin, to celebrate both the new rolls and here you go, Bruce. Don't throw it. And Cinco de Mayo for all of our fellow Mexican employees. We appreciate you. Yes, and you have to be careful because Bruce threw. Boy, this could go wrong because Bruce decided to throw the beers.
That's all right.
But we're getting this is going to work.
This isn't our office. This is
our office. And I will have you know what it's 5 o'clock right now when we're recording this. It is 5 o'clock, right, Kylie? We can superimpose that. So to Patrick, we went lion hunting. We got the lion for the podcast.
Hey,
Patrick,
cheers.
Congratulations and thank you for being
buddy.
on the pod.
You bet. Thanks for having
Appreciate you.
Yep.
All right.
Are we drinking?
I drink. A little tiny one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.